Hi Stampers, this is Sarah Neighbor with Sarah Loves to Stamp, and today I'm bringing a video on how to unmount your wheels. And you can do this with any of the wheels. You can do it with the builder wheels, the jumbo wheels, or the standard wheels. So I thought I'd show you today. That's how I store mine and how I use mine. I put mine in this clear mount case, and you can see there's a couple missing because of things I'm going to show you in a minute. But I've pretty much been able to store all of mine in one case. Of course, if you have quite a few, I'm thinking of buying a couple of builder wheels, and then I won't be able to fit them all in here. But anyway, you can just store them in these clear mount cases, and you can store them on both sides. And then when you shut them, they do touch a little bit, but if that bothers you, then just use more cases. And you can get these clear mount cases. Stampin' Up sells them 4 to a package, and I'll put that number up on the screen here with the price. I can't remember how much they are, but they're really inexpensive. Or I get mine from stamp sets where you get two cases, like this stamp set, Everything Eleanor. This is supposed to go in one case, and then this stuff's supposed to go in the other case, but I put it all in one, and then I have an empty case. So anyway, that's just an example of how I do it. So let me go ahead and show you how I do it. You're going to need an exacto knife. You're going to need whatever wheel you're using, a pencil, our cling foam, and again I'll put that number up there. It's the same foam that's used for the clear mount stamps, and it comes in a sheet of 8.5 by 11, but you actually get 2 sheets of it. So I've unmounted all of my wheels, and I still have this much left, so that's enough to do our wheel today. And then you need some kind of ruler. Stampin' Up doesn't carry exacto knife anymore, so just whatever exacto knife you have. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find the seam, and I'll try and get closer to the camera here. Hopefully you can see that there's a little line between it where the rubber is, where the rubber was originally, you know, a strip or whatever. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut along that a couple times with my exacto. Be very careful. Don't cut yourself. That's not good. You don't want to tell you don't want to go into the doctor and say, "Oh yeah, what did you cutting yourself?" "Oh, I was, you know, doing some rubber stamping." No, that's not good. You don't want to do that. And then just go ahead and peel it off the wheel. This one's an old retired wheel. I actually filmed this video a second ago, and when I filmed it before, I unfortunately had a little problem, and it was like 11 minutes long. So I went ahead and remade the video for you guys, and I didn't have any more current wheels, so I had to use a retired wheel. So this is an old one. Anyway, so I'm just using my pencil, and I'm tracing on, hopefully what's the sticky side. I should have checked that first. Do check that when you're doing yours. You want to make sure that you're using the sticky side. Oops. Nope, that's the cling side. Just kidding. It doesn't matter though, actually, for these purposes. But you'll want to make sure you peel off the right side when you go to adhere it. I'm going to use my exacto knife. With the wheels, you can do this. If you're unmounting some of your other stamps, you're going to want to use our craft and rubber scissors. Excuse my reach, but these are the craft and rubber scissors. They're really excellent. So anyway, love those. But anyway, I'm using a metal ruler here and my exacto knife. And I'm going to go ahead, oh, I forgot to take my paper out. That's alright, I'll just cut through my paper. You want to be on some kind of surface. I don't know if you can see my black mat under there, but I have a black mat under mine, so I'm not cutting into my table here. And I'm just going to cut several times. I think it's already gone through, but I just want to make sure. And then I'm going to come over here and do the same. And again, I'm using a metal ruler. If you use a plastic ruler, you can very easily actually cut into the ruler, and you probably don't want to ruin your ruler. Okay, so it actually is pretty quick. Oh, I think there's some adhesive on my paper there. And then I'm just going to toss that aside, and I don't need the exacto knife anymore, so I'm going to set that aside too. And you can see I cut through my paper here. There's my black mat underneath. And then you want to make sure you're on the right side, and it should be, oh, it's this side that has, you can kind of see there's a little hangover. It's that side. So you're going to go ahead and peel that side off, and it's super sticky. So, you know, once you get you're going to want to put it where you want it. I did mean to mention, on this one, the glue is actually still on it. When I unmounted my last wheel, the glue came off and the glue was on the wheel. I don't think it matters, honestly. Okay, so just so you know that. And then you're going to want to be really careful, and you're going to want to place this exactly where you want it. Oops. See? Very sticky. Very, very sticky. Okay. So I'm just getting the end lined up, and then I'm going to get the edge lined up. It actually probably, like, I'm trying to be pretty precise, but it probably doesn't matter as much as I think it does. And then you can just peel off the other side of this. And that is your cling side. See, it's not sticky, but it will stick to a block. And then you can go ahead and put it on a block and use it. I'm going to go ahead and use, this was the one I did in the previous video, which that one's a current one. This is Betsy's Blooms wheel. And I'm going to go ahead and then you can just stick your unmounted wheel in your case, okay? So pretty cool. Excuse me. Now, when you want to use these, and I was going to show you this, so I'll go ahead and stick it off. When you want to use them, go ahead and sit them on your paper. And because otherwise you can kind of bend them actually, and you don't want to bend it. You want to just use it. So I'm going to sit it on there, and then bring your block to it. And this is the largest block Stampin' Up! Carries. It is the F block. And it fits pretty okay across the diagonal. I'll show you in a second another idea if that bothers you. So that's what I did. Some demonstrators I know actually use their X-Acto knife or their craft and rubber scissors and actually cut into the design so that it'll actually fit on the block this way, you know, a normal way. But I don't mind using it diagonally. I actually know demonstrators who do that purposely because you can kind of get an optical illusion almost going on otherwise. And then I'll show you how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. This is Crumb Cake ink, one of my favorites. And this is an old ink pad. And I will link in this video, you know, right now, right above this, to the video where I show you the old and new ink pads so you know what I'm talking about. And then you can go ahead and just line it up and stamp it down. Okay, and I have mounted mine for several reasons, but the main one is that I could not roll it straight. So, yeah, so there you go. It's pretty straight. Because this is the handle, if you know how they're used. You know, normally it goes in here like this, and it snaps in, and then you roll it. But I had a really big problem with that. I don't know, I just can't roll it straight. So, if you're like me, there's a solution to your problems. And then here's another one. I wanted to show you this. Let's see, I'll take this one off too. Again, I used this in the previous video. So, too bad that video was super long. Okay, so this is just another empty clear mount stamp case. And if you want it to fit all the way across it, well, you can see that it will fit all the way across this clear mount stamp case. So you can just use this like you would use a block, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use our new Raspberry Ripple in color. And this is one of the new stamp pads. I'm not sure if you can see the difference on camera, but you will be able to tell the difference when you're stamping with them. And I'm going to stick my hand inside of there so that there's some pressure applied. That's the tricky thing about using a stamp case to stamp with, is that it's, you know, kind of flimsy-ish, so if you shut it and try and use it, that won't work. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same process. See, I opened it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and line it up. I'm probably stamping upside down. I didn't even pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and line it up, put it down, and then I'm just going to press on the inside of my stamp case. So that's just another idea for you. It's really simple. It's not anything complicated there. Okay, so there it is. Oh yeah, and that is upside down, of course. There you go. So anyway, that's a couple of the wheels and a couple of different ways to use them. I'm really excited about this. It's just made a big difference for me because I know I cannot roll very straight. So it's really nice because you can see that's pretty dang straight. So I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys will be too, and I hope you enjoyed today's Quick Tip Tuesday. I will see you next week.